Bitcoin can evolve, which is totally different than any other commodity you've ever owned, right? Like corn.
We had this story break from Google just a couple days ago. Willow, the state-of-the-art quantum chip that they say was able to handle a benchmark computation that would take 10 septillion years. It handled it in less than 5 minutes. And the concern is with the rapid development of quantum computing, encryption as we know it will be completely dismantled. So to simplify for everybody, the way Bitcoin works is there's a private and public key. It's basically you get access to a thing and then you have an encrypted password that can't be broken that ensures only you have access to those specific Bitcoin or fractions of. A quantum computer can basically find the password instantly and then unravel the whole thing, get access to anybody's Bitcoin, just take it all.
Yeah.
What's going to stop that from happening?
Well, for the public, first of all, this is not nearly strong enough to make a dent in Bitcoin. And for the general public as well, cryptography and using public-private key pairs, that's what runs the internet. That's what secures your bank account. That's what runs the universe and the
quantum
world.
computing destroys the world.
Right. And but from an engineering standpoint, before being a CEO in a suit, I was an engineer. That was my initial contributions to Bitcoin. And the technical community is aware of this. And there's going to be a transition probably over the next decade or so onto different cryptographic curves. So this will be addressed and solved. This story came out and everyone was like, "Oh, is Bitcoin going to go zero?" No, absolutely
They say that every
not.
time there's a breakthrough in crypto,
Not a risk at all, and it's a known technical barrier that everyone in the world, not just Bitcoin. I mean, the first thing is that all the money in your Chase account would disappear before people started attacking Bitcoin. So, not a concern.
It is pretty wild. The article says it lends credence to the notion that quantum computation occurs in many parallel universes, in line with the idea that we live in a multiverse. That's like the craziest thing you could write, but I don't know. I'm not a quantum computer guy, so whatever, or a physicist.
I also think that people need to recognize that quantum and classical technology systems don't necessarily mesh well together, right? So people think that quantum is just like a standard computer, but super powerful.
But I think this is a good time to reference that Bitcoin is technology, which for the first time we have a money that can adapt and get better. Like what I think fascinating point is Bitcoin's going to get better for as long as I'm alive and then long after I'm dead. Gold, like once gold stopped working, it's a rock. But Bitcoin, we can improve it, right? And that's what I don't think Bitcoin can evolve, which is totally different than any other commodity you've ever owned, right? Like corn.
So let's go the other direction on this one. Let's go full conspiracy. Do you guys know the globalist conspiracy theory about Bitcoin? I'd imagine.
Uh-oh.
So
the CIA started it or what?
So Satoshi Nakamoto literally translates to Intelligence Central Hub or something.
Really?
Yeah. So it was a viral meme that let me see if I can pull it up. I tweeted it, and I can let's see if I can find it. What do we have? The CIA invented Bitcoin. Here we go.
Yes, I've heard that one.
So what does Satoshi mean in Japanese? So for those who don't know, Satoshi Nakamoto is the inventor of Bitcoin.
Yes.
In Japanese, Satoshi means wise or intelligent. What does Nakamoto mean? Naka means middle or center, and moto means origin or base. So it means intelligent, center, base. Central origin or root of the center. So central, and then of course, we flip the names, Satoshi Nakamoto. We would say that Nakamoto Satoshi in the United States, but they go by last name first. So that would mean central origin of intelligence. The Central Intelligence Agency. Something like that. But so here's the idea. In the late 2000s, you had this conversation about the Amero. People were saying, look, Europe is doing the euro. They're creating a centralized currency for the entire bloc. They want to create one in the United States that U.S., Canada, and Mexico would all use, the Amero. Never happened. There were leaked images claiming this was what it was going to look like, and it would cause problems for the U.S. because we're the top. And so it's going to pull us down and lift them up. Never happened. You had a bunch of people who are relatively pro-America, anti-government, conspiracy theorists, etc. So the idea goes, you're the IMF or the Davos group or whatever, and you're sitting there being like, these people they're not going to let us just do this. They're going to protest. There's going to be revolt. It's going to be messy. How do we trick them into doing it? And so they create a publicly trackable, easily transferable system of value, Bitcoin.
Yep.
Nobody really knows who made it. They then seed it to the anti-government type saying, this gets you out of the system. Now you're outside of the government. And who adopts it? A bunch of libertarian weirdos, people buying drugs, anarcho-capitalists. Then you've got the anti-government types proselytizing for your new global currency and becoming wealthy doing it. And so then everyone wants to start adopting it. But what do you end up with? Any standard algorithm, moderately weak AI, can track the entire ledger of Bitcoin and figure out who you are, what you're buying, and what and where that money is going. So with the public ledger, Bitcoin itself is a massive surveillance network of everything you'd purchase. Cash, you can buy a lot of things in cash and transfer that value the government can't track.
Yeah.
And so as the conspiracy goes to simplify, powerful international interests wanted to create a global currency or global trade of value to replace the petrodollar. They needed to get, in order to get ubiquity or to get adoption, you have to give it to make your opponents believe it's their path to victory and play the heel. All of these anarcho-capitalists adopt it. It becomes mainstream. And now a simple example is when I think it was Andrew Arnheimer fled the country to the United States and went to Ukraine and was posting on like a Stormfront or whatever, Daily Storm, or whatever that website was. Journalists knew he had received $1 million in Bitcoin because the public ledger tracks where everything is going. Mm-hmm. A computer can do it way better. Now they can simply ask ChatGPT if it's plugged in, show me the entire transaction history of John Smith, and it'll show everything they've ever done in Bitcoin. And then it can map out probably what it expects them to buy. So what do you guys think?
I think there are ways to use Bitcoin privately. I've done it. You use the Lightning Network, super private. It's advanced. It's not easy. It's not for everyone. But the notion that Bitcoin was designed to trace and track everybody, I say it here first, bullshit. Not true at all, technically. I think the most important point here is it doesn't matter who created it. Like, I'm still going to store my time, energy, effort, labor, work, and future in it because
it's better.
What?
Because it's better.
Because it's better. Because it's better. Like, if someone were to say, that guy created it, but he committed a crime to whatever, shake his hand. Thank you. I appreciate it. And whatever your morals and opinions and principles are, I don't give a shit. Doesn't matter. So the technology stands on its own. It can compete against anything. It's the best thing to own, period, for yourself. And so it just doesn't matter.
It still is permissionless, and I still can't confiscate it. So you still have those things. And you think if, like, the CIA made it, they'd have some backdoor to confiscate it, and that hasn't happened in 15 years.
No, I don't think it would. It would undermine it. If they're trying to build something and get it mass adoption, they wouldn't undermine themselves, even if they were. So it certainly does create some kind of freeing principle for sure. It is traceable. Like a computer can track addresses and see where coins are going.
Yeah, there's ways to use it that imply certain things. But listen, I mean, no, we don't ask what was the intent of the car. Was it to drive over and hit a chick in the head? Who cares? I use it for what I need to use it for now. It's a tool, so it doesn't matter. And by the way, Ben, the code's open source. Yes. So if there is a backdoor, humanity hasn't found it. And so if you are short Bitcoin because you think it's compromised, you are short humanity. The story of humanity is engineering a better world. So if you believe in that, then there's nothing to worry about.
So Satoshi Nakamoto has, what, 1 million Bitcoin?
1.1, I think.
1.1?
In theory.
It's never moved. It's presumed to be that these original, allotment or whatever is Satoshi's because it's never moved or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you guys think we will ever find out?
It's not an initial allotment like some of these ICOs where they give,
right.
Like the Hawk Tuah coin where they gave all these people a bunch of coins. There was zero at the beginning, and then that wallet mined in order to earn those coins.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, do you think we're ever going to find out who it actually was?
I say no at this point.
No.
I think whoever it actually is probably like, I don't want to die.
Mm-hmm.
He's already rich.
Yeah.
Like anybody who's done something like this, I would imagine Satoshi probably had other coins as well that weren't as easily noticeable and doesn't need to move 1.1 million. But also, like, I'll just put it this way. If it were me, I wouldn't just have 1.1 million. There'd probably be smaller bits and pieces there. I would have held on to other wallets, probably have made money elsewhere. Someone smart enough to do this with this vision probably is already successful and wealthy in other ways. But at this point, if you were to make a move on those coins, they'd find you and your life would be in danger.
Yeah.
Everyone in the world is going to be coming at you. So it's funny when these guys come out and go, I'm Satoshi. It's like, no, you're not.
Well, first of all, Satoshi leaving, and we can comfortably say now he, based on emails that have been shown in court, he leaving is the best thing that's ever happened to the project, in my opinion. Tremendously important to its independence. Also, setting the tone for the level of humility and lack of ego. I always say Bitcoin's an ego test. And those that value and prioritize ego have the toughest time adopting it. What type of man? You don't want to be on the Time cover. You don't want to get the hottest chicks at the dance. You don't want to have the biggest yacht. No, seriously, what a humanitarian act to say, this is my gift to our species, and walk away. Yeah. That is the most profound act of a
create
human.
The best money ever, and money is something human beings use on it every single day.
And that set the tone, I think, for the level of humility. When you adopt this thing, you're not bigger than this thing. You're one with this thing. It's equal rights. It's rules with no rulers. And I do think those that think they're late to Bitcoin is ego. Late to who? Oh, you're comparing yourself to your friend. You're comparing yourself to your colleague, to your college roommate. It's about ego. And he set that tone by saying, this isn't about me. I'm walking away for the importance of what good money means to the world. I've never, draw me a comparison in human history that has done such an act. I don't know of anything remotely close.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon, so subscribe and come hang out.